So we're going to cover some tips for Facebook Marketplace sellers. Now, some of these tips are just going to give you more insight into how to sell more on the actual platform. Some of them are going to be little tips about the back end and the logistics and the specifics of the marketplace, but there's about 6 or 7. Let's just jump into them. Now, the first tip, and this is not just for Facebook Marketplace, but this is literally for any platform like it. It's for eBay, it's for Poshmark, it's for Mercari, it's for any platform like it, not necessarily so much on Amazon, although it can be on Amazon. It's going to depend, obviously, what you're kind of selling on Amazon, how you're competing, and a lot of different things. But that's obviously list high and be patient, specifically for Facebook Marketplace. But like I said, this goes for a lot of places, right? And the reason you want to do this is, especially on Facebook Marketplace, you're going to get some people that make you lowball offers. And you're also going to want to list higher so that you have a potential higher price point, and also so that when you drop the price or if you take an offer, you create that kind of illusion of urgency and the illusion of value there, right? If you list your prices too low, too fast, or too soon, then obviously it doesn't give you much wiggle room profit-wise, and you won't be able to accept any offers. So list high, be patient. Seems pretty simple, but a lot of people don't do it. Trust me, this will make a massive difference. Even if you don't sell listings more, like as fast, you can list more, and then obviously there'll be more longer term listings, and you won't need to kind of manage them as much. Total headache saver, total life saver. Now, also, one of the benefits of Facebook Marketplace, and a lot of them do this now, and they're starting to move forward like this. I think Amazon's the only one, to my belief, that doesn't fully do it, and it's only for specific states. My specific state in PA, they do. But obviously, Facebook Marketplace collects and remits sales tax on your behalf, so that's great for sellers, because then there's no need for you to worry about reporting it come tax season. There's no need for you to worry about collecting it. They'll literally do that for you, and obviously paying it come tax time, okay? Also, another benefit is there's no returns. All sales are final is their current policy. Now, that might change, but currently that's their policy, okay? Now, currently a customer can actually request to cancel, but only if it hasn't been marked shipped yet. If you've already shipped it out, then they can't request to cancel, and all sales are final, okay? That doesn't mean screw people over or scam people, because then obviously they can report it to Facebook in certain situations, or in other situations they can obviously give you bad reviews or ratings, but typically all sales are final. So if you're listing something and you're doing a good job of listing it, and the listing represents exactly what the item is, then typically all sales are final, and you don't have to worry about returns as long as you've shipped it out. Now, if a customer does request to cancel and you haven't shipped it out yet, then it's obviously your prerogative, and up to you if you want to accept that or not. Very similar to Poshmark in a lot of ways. Also, Facebook Marketplace currently, because it's so new, I would assume they probably will, as it grows and kind of evolves a little bit more, they'll raise these, but currently has the cheapest fees. Facebook Marketplace has 5% of the sale fees, which is ridiculously low, okay? And that's phenomenal for sellers. There are special fees as well if you sell a price like super low. I think I forget the specifics of it. It might be like under $1 or $2 or something like that. Then there's specific fees that obviously aren't 5% of the sale. It's like a set price. But the majority of us obviously won't need to worry about that. So we're not even going to touch on that, okay? And that compares to Poshmark, for example, which is 20%, and Mercari and eBay, which are roughly 12%. Now, it might depend on if you have an eBay store or if you're selling individual items and a number of other things. But typically that's, what the majority of us are going to see. And Amazon really depends, right? It's whatever they want. Just kidding, obviously. But it actually does depend a lot on if you have an individual seller plan, a professional seller plan, whether you do your own fulfillment, whether you decide to ship it into FBA, what type of item you have, meaning like the weight, the dimensions, etc. So we won't get too much into that, but clearly Facebook Marketplace has the cheapest fees. So that benefits us, because if we sell it there, we're going to make more money. Another thing that I want to hit on is that SEO on Facebook Marketplace matters, okay? Do not sleep on this. It matters a lot more than you think. And it matters on a number of marketplaces, but especially a newer marketplace like Facebook Marketplace, okay? So that means don't just paste in short or bad titles and skimp over them and not take time on them, right? You want a good reading title, but put keywords in there that people are going to be able to search and find so that you rank higher, okay? Most people will not be doing this. And so if you do this and you go the extra mile and spend an extra minute or two on your listing, it will make a massive difference, I promise you, especially here, okay? So don't just paste in short or bad titles. Don't just paste in short or bad descriptions. Don't skimp on your tags. Put as many good tags in there as possible and make sure they're relevant. And also make sure you save your pictures. Another little tidbit there that I've covered in my Facebook Marketplace tutorials is save your pictures with keywords in their metadata, right? So when you're saving the picture and you're titling the picture, don't just name it like picture one, right? Or like X1, X2. Save it as the same keywords as your title, or the same, literally as many keywords as you possibly can that are relevant, because that's going to actually matter in your metadata. Okay. And finally, in the beginning on any marketplace, but especially somewhere where, ratings are very relevant, so Mercari or eBay for that matter, and Amazon is a little bit different and Poshmark's a little bit different, but for specifically Facebook Marketplace, ratings matter a lot, okay? Social proof is massive and will help you sell a lot more. Now, if you have no ratings, that's totally fine. Everybody starts there, right? But customers won't buy from you as much and with as much trust. So if you don't have any ratings or many ratings yet, like I said, totally fine. But then you might want to think about at least selling a few things in the beginning at low prices so that you can get some sales and some positive ratings, okay? Even if you don't net a profit, or even if you sell something around the house in the beginning, trust me, it's worth it, because you will get ratings and that will allow you to sell more going forward at higher price points, and people will just buy from you with a lot more trust and not think about it as much, okay? If they look at an item and they're about to buy it and they see that the seller has no ratings or like one rating, they're going to have a lot more trepidation than if the seller has 20 5-star ratings. They're going to trust you a lot more, okay? So those are some tips that are going to help you sell more on the marketplace, and some back-end stuff that, was really going to give you good insight into selling and, different things on the marketplace, but I really hope that they help.